Let's get scratching.
And hello, my name is Adam, and welcome to another episode of the KashCast, an interview-focused podcast that talks to creatives across and beyond the animation industry. In this episode, I have Belsheber Rusape, a voice actor who has played Temperance in a new glitch series like Gaslight District, and has also voice acted in various anime, cartoons, and video games. Anytime to talk to a voice actor is great, and it's even better with my friend Arteice joining me again to co-host this episode. Art and Belle, how are you two doing?
We in this. Yay!
We good.
Thank you so much to both of you for having me. It has been lovely, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely. You know, as we record this, we're coming off like a couple days. Has it been a week since the pilot dropped on YouTube?
A week, I believe.
Right, yeah, about like a week, maybe two, if we're being honest. So it's definitely been like a good while since the pilot dropped.
Yeah. And what are some of your like immediate thoughts? You know, just like now that it's like in the past, at least for the moment.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Well, if I were to give my personal thoughts, no bias here, I absolutely loved the pilot of Gaslight District. It is, oh my god, I love grunge. I love like highly stylized animation. I love everything that the pilot did. And even if I wasn't in it, if I weren't even in the pilot, I would have still checked it out because Glitch Productions always has that peak quality to it.
Absolutely. Like we were talking about it earlier, but just this is the quality of just what was on display. I would have paid a movie ticket to just see that pilot. Like I'm just
Indeed.
so impressed. And again, like the different frame rate effect that they're trying to do, like I've never like okay,
Oh
well
my gosh,
Spider-Verse
it's so
obviously, but
cool.
to see that in like
Yeah.
an indie space, oh my god.
That was mind-boggling. I already kind of knew what to kind of expect from Glitch since like they specialize and focused in like 3D animation and whatnot. And that's cool. That's really cool. You can do a lot in those kind of spaces. But
Yeah.
as soon as I like turned it on the first scene, I'm like, yo, Spider-Verse of indie? This is quite literally a game changer. It's phenomenal. This is amazing. And
Exactly.
in moments where it looks like stop motion and bruh, my only gripe is just very fast paced. I just wish it slowed down because again, I want to take in the visuals.
Right.
Understandable, yeah. I felt like it was so fun watching in the moment, especially with the insanity going on, because, you know, when it comes to animated insanity, you have to be in the moment to really enjoy it. So I think that was also a selling factor when you think about it. It's like it's so crazy. It makes you rewatch it over and over again to see what you missed the first time around. But at the same time, what they do explain for the most part is very bone chilling because I think Gaslight District excels the most with how it really captures the hellish nature of the world that it takes place in.
Yes.
Because without spoiling anything, watch the pilot for yourself, but without spoiling anything, just oh my god, I would not be I could not be any of the main characters in this story. I'd have to have zero sanity
Oh
in order to
man.
be any of them.
Couldn't even be a side, honestly.
Oh yeah,
no.
I am not surviving. No.
But can we also appreciate one thing that Glitch does exorbitantly well is always having an intriguing female lead in all of their
Yes.
stories. Like they always do that incredibly well. Like Mel in Gaslight District. Oh my god. Like she puts the gaslight in Gatekeep Gaslight Girl Boss. Oh my god. She is literally the Gatekeep Gaslight Girl Boss. Like, yo, she is so snaky. Oh my god.
Oh, I love how clever she is and so like spindly and tricky. She was like, obviously, I'm not the first one to make this comparison, but like reminded me so much of like some Jinx inspiration. And fun fact for everyone: when I went to Level Up Expo this past couple of weeks, I was at Glitch's. I saw all the merchants at booth and everything, and they held a panel for the Gaslight District and had Mel's voice actress and the creator, Part Time Seagull, I believe, was there answering fan questions and talking about down his inspirations for the characters in the show itself, and he basically said how like he built like heavily off of like his sister.
Oh my, that's so
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, that tracks.
And he's more like, and he feels more like he's breadhead.
Oh, that's actually really cute. Oh, they're like, we barely got to see their relationship in the show, but that kind of reference that's really adorable.
Yeah, I can
So
definitely
cute.
appreciate layers like that.
Aw.
Now, I will say, for you specifically, Belle, so
Yeah.
you've been in the voice acting world for almost a decade now. So, of course, congratulations,
Woo, woo.
but
Thank you.
you're welcome. But how have your experiences been up to this point? So, like, was it a tough road to get to where you are now?
Let's see. Well, first half of that decade, that almost decade, yeah, I mean, I was just kind of like waffling around. I was just a dumb kid who didn't really know what he was doing. It's like back when I first started voiceover, it was kind of tricky because usually there were like these online spaces that I had to find out about because if you didn't really know anyone else who was into voice acting the way you were, you kind
Right.
of had to like maneuver around things yourself. And at the time, I didn't really see what was essentially the voiceover community that it is today.
Mm.
So it's kind of like I wanted to connect with others in a way through voiceover. So
Mhm.
it's like whenever I got the chance, it's like that's when I ended up using social media to kind of like connect with others in the industry and see like, okay, well, I'm learning new things about how casting calls are working, like where casting calls are. And so I could just like refer a lot of people by like mass tagging people into these casting calls. And it started off really small, where it's like these like small, like these indie clients, like they had like these really cool passion projects and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, there we go. Like I see a lot of people who are also voice actors on social media and I tag them in them. And if they happen to book, oh, then congratulations to them. But even then, it was just
Mhm.
like a nice way of letting people know this is where the work is, this is how we can get connected, and this is how ultimately we can get connected through social media. And so it started off rather small in comparison. Like for me, the largest groups were usually on Skype. Remember those days?
Oh, Skype, I think, literally died like
It literally
today.
died recently, so,
Yes.
yeah,
Mm.
this is gonna show how dated I am as far as my experience as a voice actor, so
Wow. We're
there
old
was
now.
that.
Wow.
I know, I know, I know.
We're like wine. We get better with time.
Indeed, queen, indeed. But
Ah.
but yeah, that's basically my experience when it came to the social game of voice acting. Now, in terms of experience, I just kind of started off small. It's like the second that I graduated high school, I wanted to pursue voice acting professionally. So I decided to like go for like literally anything that piques my fancy. It's like as long as I was comfortable doing it, then I was definitely going to be shooting for it. And I was actually surprised with how things eventually turned out after I graduated college because
Mhm.
after the first half of that decade, the second half is where my career actually started taking off because that's when I started actually booking anime frequently. And that was during the pandemic, when everything was doing their work remotely. So
Right.
Mhm.
my
Right.
first ever session with Funimation was like 3 years prior to actually booking Horimiya. So it was
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, so it was like I booked my first ever Walla session in either 2018 or 2019. 2018. Yeah, 2018. Because then that was at the old Funimation building in Flower Mound. But then I didn't get called in for anything until 2021, where I actually auditioned for Horimiya. And I didn't know that I booked Sengoku until I got called in for episode 2. That's what surprised me because they didn't give me like an announcement saying, "Congratulations, you booked insert name here."
Oh, so it was just, like,
Nice.
out of the blue, like, blunt.
Exactly, like, I auditioned for him, and I didn't know I booked him until we started recording for episode 2, and with Horimiya, I was watching the episodes as soon as they came out in the Japanese version, so I immediately realized who I booked in that moment.
Oh, snap.
It was hilarious because I didn't think I would book Sengoku. It's like, but I really appreciated that moment because that was where everything officially started going upward for me. Because that's when I actually got called in regularly for a lot of Funimation work at the time. And then Q a few years later, like after the pandemic kind of stopped and everything went back into in studio. And
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I
Mm.
was a little hesitant to go in studio to do any work, so I kind of halted for a while. But I decided at one point, you know what? If they call me in for anything, might as well go for it. And
Yeah.
so Jason Lord requested me for Black Summoner for Toya Kanzaki, and here's the funny thing about that one. So when I first booked the character, he went by a completely different name from what he's actually named in the show. So,
Oh.
but that's not because of anything special. It might have just been like a naming error at the time. So,
Right.
Ah.
but it's like my first time actually getting to be like a named character was also a little bit of a Wallace session because I got to record a nameless character first, and then Toya, who only had like one or two cues in the first appearance he had. But then I didn't know until after the matter that he actually appears later as a significant character in the show. And so that was a fun experience because, oh my god, like the next few episodes were a huge arc in the show. Like I got to have a
Mhm.
whole episode long fight scene.
Oh, snap.
Nice.
This was my first time booking a named role in studio, and it was also me like learning a lot of things on the spot that I wouldn't have working, remotely. So
Yeah.
it helped me learn a lot of things in that very moment. So as time went on, I eventually started consistently booking at Crunchyroll, and so fast
Nice.
forward
Get
to
that
now,
money.
it's like this is basically my life now.
And we're both incredibly happy for that.
Oh, yes.
Thank
So
you.
proud of you. So glad.
Oh man, it's like Black Summoner, My Clueless First Friend, Cheat Skill, Hoodie Mia Season 2. That one was a blast. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Like that like coming back for Sengoku, but this time in studio was nothing but a treat. Oh my god. I had the time of my life because season 2 was insane to me because when you watch season 1, he only appears for like half of the show.
Right.
So he's technically part of the main cast, but he's not as prominent in that moment. All of his actual high moments in the story of Horimiya are the ones that are told in season 2 because he appears in 12 of the 13 episodes of season 2.
Oh, so he's a regular.
Yes, like that's how you know he was part of he was main character in terms of like the whole ensemble. Like his relevance shot up.
Oh, wow. And I can imagine just, like, trying to get used to that. It was a bit of it was a bit of a whiplash, right?
Not really, because I guess okay, well, the whiplash was getting consistent work repeatedly,
Right.
like at that kind of level. But playing Sengoku is one of those characters personally for me. He has a lot of my features as well, or at least a lot of my personal features at the time when I first
Yeah.
booked him. Like,
Mhm.
like he's the kind of character who he presents himself as like a very just ruler, like in the in the setting he's in. Like he's the student council president, and he has to hold up a sense of maturity for everyone around him. But outside of that, he's a very high maintenance, nervous wreck. Like he's very insecure about his appearance. Like he's very scrawny, and everyone knows that, and they kind of make fun of him for it, and it's unfair.
Aw.
And it's like,
Oh.
and he's also very high strung, so he gets angry a lot, a lot, a lot.
Aw.
And he's also a tad bit awkward. Like I headcanon him as like a little bit neurodivergent in that respect because
Yeah.
some of the funniest gags and like best story moments for me were like when he tries to like communicate with some of the other characters. For example, Akane Yanagi, voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. Like everyone,
Oh! Oh,
every
shoot, Johnny?
yeah, like he was the last main character who was announced like in the
Wow.
show. Like we knew everyone else for the most part, but like no joke, Caitlin and Sean, they kept Johnny's involvement in the dub a secret
Oh my
until
Yeah.
it got
god.
announced.
He getting his Netflix and Crunchyroll bags. Let's go.
Oh my god, right. Shout out to Devil May Cry. Oh, but yeah, speaking of which, one of the greatest honors was getting to be in an anime with John Young Bosch because when episode 7 of the show rolled in season 1, I almost had a heart attack. That was so cool. Like
Right?
that was the coolest thing that had ever happened for me at the time, and it was like, yeah. But getting a whole episode dedicated to Sengoku and Yanagi's relationship, like it's funny because everyone in the main cast wants to be friends with Yanagi because he's
Mhm.
like that really cool, attractive, like sweetheart. And so you can't even hate him. Like he's actually that nice. So
Right.
there is a key moment in season 2 where Sengoku notices that Yanagi often talks formally with everyone except for like the girl he likes, Yoshikawa. And the thing is, the reason why he's actually able to speak to her in a more casual way is because he wants to get closer to her.
Right.
And so the funniest thing about this moment was when Yanagi says like he says that like he changes the way he speaks for people that he wants to get closer to. Sengoku misinterpreted that as like, oh wait, you're speaking formally to me means you don't want to be my friend? And
Oh.
he mentally just died at that moment. And like in that moment, like the scene ends with Sengoku having like a bunch of like mental voice bubbles, basically saying like, "Oh no, he hates me. He doesn't want to be my friend. Like he doesn't want to get to know me. Like I'm not deserving of him." And it's like that was the most realistic thing I had ever seen an anime character just do, like right then and there.
Oh
Mhm.
wow.
It's like they squash that moment because it's like like Akane, he tries to speak more casually the next time he actually does meet up with Sengoku, but then it's like Sengoku notices it doesn't really sound natural when he does it, so you shouldn't have to force yourself to change the way you know show yourself to other people.
Right.
And so
Mhm.
in that moment, that scene was really special to me because I tried portraying it in a way of someone who wants to say it in a firm but also polite and in fact friendly manner. Like you don't have to change yourself or how you speak just to be my friend. Like be who you are. Like if he's a naturally like friendly and polite person, don't change the way you are for my sake. And the fact that they both like have a great mutual respect for each other, it shows like they go about things so differently, but they kind of get each other. It's really nice. Like it was nice seeing a dynamic where Sengoku is so hyper analytic of other people that he often misunderstands how to approach them until like he sees something different in their behaviors. And so then he like when it clicks, then he's the one who has to like tell them up front how he like you don't have to you don't have to like go the extra mile like that. Like I understand now.
Mhm.
And like that's what I mean when it comes to like the like headcanon neurodivergence of Sengoku. It's like he's very honest and he is very much like open with his feelings. So that's also something like I kind of have with him where it's like I have a hard time hiding my feelings sometimes. So
Oh yeah.
it's like yeah, like he goes through so many beats that like I can relate to heavily. So playing Sengoku as a whole was basically like putting like the best and worst parts of myself in the forefront. Man, I think another anime character who I feel like I related to heavily was also Aidu from the anime Anyway I'm Falling in Love with You, which was my first ever lead role.
Hey, let's
Hey!
go.
I love that boy so much. He is one of my favorite anime characters I've ever gotten to voice. Like he is such a good boy. Like he's a little devious, he's a little mischievous, he's a little saucy, and the fact that his entire if you've seen his design, look at that boy
Oh
and
yeah,
tell me
you
that
showed
he's
me.
like he is someone who does not conform. And that, I feel like, is the most, like, that's the epitome of, like, how I live my life. It's like, I've never wanted to be like everybody else. Like, I've always had different interests, different ideas, and, like, different passions from other people around me. So it's like, what, cultivates other people towards me is how much I love, you know, being myself and, like, doing my own things. So when it came to Aido, it's like the way that he just unapologetically lives as himself. It was so inspiring because what made me love it even more was the fact that, unlike the other guys in the story, he's the only one that's not, like, out here pining for the female lead.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
it's like from the other guy's perspective, it's an unrequited love, but, like, for him, that girl is his best friend. Like, episode 12 of season 1 was basically the moment where you realize what it is that Aido is so attached to Mizuho about. Like, they are best friends. Like, back in middle school, he used to be in a gang, so he used
Oh,
he used to be a delinquent kid. So, and then it's like he used to push away his friends and, like, hang out with the wrong crew, but then that crew rejected him and, like, they threw him to the curb. And so it was through his friendship with Mizuho. Initially, he was at rock bottom. Like, it was the most that that scene actually got me so emotional because realizing the context, like, earlier in the season, we see those old delinquent friends come back into his life, but
Uh-huh.
ooh,
but then episode 12, like, you see how they treated him, and it hits so hard because now you realize the person he is now is because he no longer has those people in his life. And the person who really showed him that he can love himself and be his own best person was Mizuho. Because she, at the time, Aido technically confessed that he wanted her to be his girlfriend, but she already sensed, I know you do not like me like that. Like, you're just emotionally broken at this moment, but I can still be there for you without being in a relationship with you.
right.
The line that stuck out to me the most, and they both say it to each other, is, I will always be your ally.
Oh, that's really
This this
sweet.
show this show means a lot to me because despite the fact that the premise kind of ruins the innocence of the whole, oh, all of these guys were childhood friends with this girl, and so, like, they've lived their whole lives together, and that's what makes, like, my favorite part of their interactions. Like, they're always supporting each other, looking out for each other.
Right.
It's when the
Mm-hmm.
romance kind of comes in, that's when it's like, oh my god, like, these guys are down bad.
Oh
Ugh.
no.
So being the one guy who is not down bad for the girl like that, in fact, he's the one who's kind of, like, instigating them to, like, you know what, if you like her, at least tell her how you feel. Like, be honest about your feelings.
Right.
But, like, he's not the
Mm-hmm.
one who's, like, actively pursuing her while using his friendship as a means of, like, slinking in. And, like, that's what I like about him. Like, Aido is the kind of character who embodies having a lot of masks behind his personality. And so understanding Aido is understanding when he's putting on a facade, why he's acting the way he is at the moment, and, like, unraveling that sort of, like, personal mystery behind him. Because unlike the other guys, like, he had a whole, like, tragic life outside of, like, the main gang. So it's like he has, like, a whole story attached to him, and it was so much fun getting to, like, explore that. Like, he's so self-contained in his own experience in this story. So getting to be the person, like, I've always loved the odd one out characters. Like, that kind of character who just, like, stands out from the rest of the gang, and is just,
Yeah.
like, doing their own thing. Like, the
Yeah.
Michelangelo of the group, if you will.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Mikey.
I know, Mikey is my boy. And it's like,
Nice.
I always related to those characters the most. Like, the wild card, the oddball, like, the one who's always, like, different from everybody else because they can't conform in a society that doesn't want them to be happy being themselves. So it's like that always done it to me. Like I've always wanted to be a character who was just like basically unaccepted by the world that they live in. So ultimately, just be yourself, and the people who love you will see that you add something unique to the world.
I could
Mm.
not agree more. And honestly, just through this, I think one thing that I respect a lot about you, Belle, not just as a voice actor, but as a person as well, it's the fact that you just have like a natural enthusiasm for what you do and your interests. And I'm not going to lie, it's completely contagious, you know? And
Right?
honestly, we need more of that energy these days, especially with everything. So
Right.
thank you for bringing such a great presence. I will immediately say that.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
bringing your black boy joy into the VA community.
Oh,
Yes, let's
so
go.
Mm.
much.
Now, I'll transition into our first viewer question, then Art, you can ask your first question. So,
Mhm.
from viewer Tappy Wara, do you think voice acting in animation is at a turning point, especially for anime? You're seeing a lot of newer young names start to dominate the industry, even from legacy series like Ranma and Dragon Ball making returns, and you're seeing less industry VAs hit these projects. It's refreshing to see, but also it's a transitional period, I think. Is this sort of exciting or intimidating?
Hmm. Do they mean like as the industry is going on, you're seeing like a larger increase of newer names getting into the industry, like, being in the forefront, getting to really like, show their, you know, show their shine in a way? Is that what the question's basically saying?
Yeah, yeah, I guess I assume that because you have like your all-stars, people.
Right, like the veteran talent who,
Yeah, from like the older
Mhm.
like
Funimation
back
days.
in the day, they were the ones booking literally everything.
Yeah, yeah. This was a point that, ironically enough, we did bring up when we were talking to Marissa, where there's like different generations of voice actors. You have like the legacy Funimation
Yes.
people who got in from like some of the earlier like uh behind the voice actors, Skype, Persona 4 webcomic, stuff like that.
Right.
And then you have
Mhm.
yes, and now you have like these more modern voice actors. Um again, like different eras of anime, different generations of the talent. So,
I
yeah,
get it, okay.
hopefully that helps.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. In that case, see, I'm fully welcome to the idea of like the continued ascension of newer people being brought into the industry at all
Right.
times because I feel like a sort of diversity that gets frowned upon is, the diversity of experience in the workplace. Like, because on top of having diversity of, different marginalized groups, we also need to like incorporate the diversity of experience when it comes to talent because
Mhm.
as great as it is, like having people who are prominently continuously succeeding, and we need more of that. We do still need more of that. Like being able to have
Yes.
continuous success. Like I still want to have like the veteran talent be prominent in the industry at all times. Like, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, the world would be bland if the few people would be the only people getting all the work. Because, for
Yeah.
example, I mean, Phil Lamar and Cree Summer have gone on record saying they do not want to be used by people who are saying, like, oh, well, are you saying that black people can't play different races? Like, what about these black people who, and they always name like the only two people like at the top of their heads, like Phil
Oh,
Lamar and Cree Summer.
oh yeah,
Right.
the Samurai Jack discourse and
Exactly. I hate
oh
that discourse so
yeah.
much. And it's like
Yeah.
they've gone on the record saying like they want more black people in the industry so that they're not the ones always voicing all of the black like the only black people in the story. And it's like I
For
freaking
real.
I freaking love those two and they deserve to continue stay working in everything.
Yes.
But they're right. They're right. Like, I want a cast full of different black people across the board. It's like you can't have fun if it's only just you being the only black person in the in the room. Like, You need to have
Exactly.
Right.
you need to have more of that, and the only way to really do that is having more new black people on the in the board, as well as also making sure you don't neglect the older black people who were there and not given chances when they should have.
Right. Because
Mhm.
in a literal and metaphorical sense, you know, just everything gets more diverse when you have more black voices because everyone has a different experience that they can bring to the table.
Exactly, and I've said this to Artiste before, but
Mhm.
not all blackness is the same blackness. Like, there's also diversity of different black experiences. Like, for example, you could have like a Native African person, or African American, or like a European African, or like it's like they're not all the same. Like, we're not
Yes.
Or even
all the
like going
same.
or even like going as far as like different genders. Like me as a black woman has a very different lived experience than like those of black men or black non-binaries or even a
I
black trans woman.
Or hell, like if we were to just lock it into black women, not every black woman expresses herself the exact same way as like the other girl, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh,
bruh,
tell
it's like
him,
because
tell
And we're
him.
definitely trying to get better like black woman representation, especially in like cartoons.
exactly. I feel like black women deserve like a scope when it comes to like represent like a whole. They deserve a whole spectrum when it
Yes.
comes to like like I think all black people deserve a chance at like a spectrum of diversity when it comes to like our
Mhm.
representation, because I'm getting tired of people thinking having the one black person in the main cast automatically means that, oh, they did an anti-racism. Nah, honey, like that's barely even scratching the surface. Because anyone
You can
familiar with the discourse going on with the Italian magical girly shows going on?
actually no, I'm not familiar with that
Winx
Discord.
Club, Winx
Oh,
Club,
Oh, wait, right?
oh,
Thanks Club.
oh.
Winx
Yeah.
Club, yeah.
Yeah, I
They AI'd Aisha's hair.
what?
Oh, and they even got it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And the worst part is, Bloom in her fairy form, she has cornrows on the top of her head.
What?
Bro, what the fuck? What the
I was like, what? You mean to tell me that you gave the redheaded girl cornrows on her scalp? And here's the thing, it doesn't even look like it makes sense either. Like, what? It looks
fuck?
so weird. It looks like you wouldn't notice unless you looked at the top of her scalp. Like at first,
Oh,
I didn't even see that until I saw images on social media. I was like, "Oh my god, this is bad.
Oh,
No,
no.
this is why I want a magical girl series where instead of like half the girls being like the token like diversity crew and then half of them being the white girls, how about half of them be the black girls and like the other half of them be the like the other minorities? Like,
Honestly, yeah.
for
can we
real.
please have that? Because like I'm sick of like how many flavors of white girl can you have? Let's be honest. Like,
Honestly,
like,
honestly,
tell me.
as much as I admit, like there's still like a little bit of a like a ironic love for like anime localization back in the day. I really do think that there was damage done because of how many people think characters like Usagi or Goku, for instance, are white. They're not. They're not, and I really think that might have like affected like how people like see those characters. Hopefully, I'm still on track if you're picking up what I'm putting
Oh no,
down.
I totally get you. I totally
Oh, yeah,
get you.
yeah,
But it's
for
like,
real, for real.
but it's like we can't control the perception of other people. Like they choose to see things wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, how
But
about you?
oh, right. But
Oh,
back
no,
on
no,
the
yeah,
question, right.
yeah, Bell, you finish.
Right. TLDR. Yes, when it comes to experience, experienced peers as well as newer peers, I am a-okay with having way more new people in the industry, but at the same time, I do hope that we don't like leave our veteran talent behind, because nothing would hurt more than being in this industry for a long time only to just like stop being used because you get to a certain age. That's not okay. That's not okay.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
ageism is also definitely an
For
issue.
real.
because I remember Michelle Ruff and Cassandra Lee Morris, they were mentioning, like, they had a whole conversation about this. Like, it was, it sucks because it's like, if
Oh,
you're still
no.
able to play kids and like you get to an age of like you're a mom or like a grandma, like, bruh, still hire this person. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, if you got the talent and like you're triple my age, please keep working. Like, I am
Ooh.
begging you.
Yeah, like you've absolutely earned that role.
Like, oh my God. Like, I honestly wouldn't rule someone out of a role just because of their age if they still sound young. Because there's a lot of actors who are like 50s and like 40s and older who still are able to like authentically sound like children.
Yes.
And that is something that should not be glossed over.
I met Scott Menaville and like
Oh my
Kyrie
wow.
Mason because like again
Man.
at Level Up they had all the voice actors for the Teen Titans cast. Scott Menaville still can do Robin's voice and it's incredible. And that man is like in his like 60s now.
Oh.
Right, like Scott Menaville and Greg Sipes, like they both naturally sound like that,
Mhm.
and it's like
Mhm.
I don't want them to ever lose work ever. Like honestly, fun fact, like Scott Menaville, he actually was a child actor during like the Hanna-Barbera days.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so like he just continued like growing into voiceover, just like doing like a lot of different things. Like he's done so much work across the board. Like if you ever look up his resume outside of Teen Titans, you'd be surprised at like all the cool things that he's gotten to be in. And it's like
Oh
I
my
want to
god.
see you I want to see you doing all sorts of cool things. Like and another good example is Hynden Walsh, the voice of Starfire. Like
Yes.
Mhm.
that woman's voice is so gorgeous and it's like it also reminds me there are also times where you have a veteran actor in a new show with like a lot of new people and like they can still play a prominent character. Like, you know, Hynden Walsh and Tom Kenny are like some of the standout performances in Adventure Time and John DiMaggio as well. And it's like you see them surrounded by like all these newer names who are like and it's like they have to perform in a way where it's like they're still like young and fresh and it's like yo that's actually crazy. Like that's how you know if an actor can bypass the generational gap in order to like succeed in a role. That's how you know like they love their craft.
No, absolutely.
Mhm.
Because
Honestly,
man, that like we
honestly.
need more veteran. Like I want a hybrid cast, like veteran talent, new
Yes.
people. Like mix it up. Like it's always good to mix it up because you can't always have just like all the veteran talent because otherwise it feels a bit predictable. And you can't have only new people because depending on the direction things go, not all the performances are going to be guaranteed good. It's like you need an in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when
And so
Adventure
like
Time started, and like of course everyone recognizes Jake the dog as John DiMaggio as Jake the dog, but
mhm.
like Jeremy Shutta, definitely a young actor because you can tell from his voice, and over the time his voice matured as Finn matured. Pretty cool. It's good to see like a young with an old like VA.
Yeah, I really like something I really love when it comes to Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney is like the way they actually do give like child and teen actors a chance to really be excellent in animation. And
Yes.
that's something that always did inspire me too. It's like because for me, I grew up in the ocean dub generation where, you know, these Canadian dubs actually brought in children like like for a lot
Yeah.
of these dubs and it's like bro, I wish I got to be that kid like growing up like damn. Like oh my god, like how come all these other kids in Canada got to be in anime and I didn't?
Aw.
Their parents forced them and or encouraged their dreams.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, there it is. Cuz I remember cuz here's the thing. The guy Lucas Gilbertson, the voice actor of Zero in Mega Man X,
Mhm.
he was a teenager when he first played the character.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
like Lucas he's not old. He's actually relatively young. He's like mid late 30s right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, so it's like he's not old. Like he was like realizing like I was a kid when I played X8 and X Command Mission and it was like, "Wait, yo, this dude sounds cool." I didn't know he was like only like 14 like when he first booked the character.
Oh, dude.
But it makes you realize also, you know, age and voice don't always go exactly how you assume. Like
Mhm.
sometimes you grow to a certain age and your voice just kind of like stops changing. And it's like, yeah, like sometimes teenagers and kids actually do sound like that.
Yeah.
It's made me more forgiving of like older dubs where it's like, like when grown men play like young kids, like, and it's like, oh, actually, I've actually heard teen actors before who've actually sounded like that. So it's like, oh, okay, so this is not far off. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this
Mhm.
now. Like, I'm actually good. Like Shaman King, the 4 Kids dub of Shaman King. It's like the voice actors who played Yo and Tao Ren. Oh my god, they sounded so good. Like they still sound really good.
Yeah, I haven't like seen Andy's episode since like the Fox 5 days of 2005.
Oh
But
man.
like I swear I remember like online consensus saying that like Shaman King specifically was like one of 4 Kids' better dubs.
It was. It genuinely was.
Yeah,
Like,
between that and Ultimate Muscle, of course.
hey, I liked Ultimate Muscle, and oh man, I wish that the anime did continue though.
Right. No. We I swear
But we could get
we're
onto it
bordering
forever,
onto a
forever.
tangent.
Like,
Yeah. I know there's like
Right,
a whole
right.
separate season that just like didn't get localized or whatever.
oh, can you come? That's actually based on the OG Ultimate. Like
Oh,
that's like Kid Muscle's dad. Like that's like where it all started.
right.
Since we're kind of like on the topic of like expressing our love for like animation and other kind of mediums, I have a question for you about I
Yes, let's
had
hear it.
so obviously you're a fan of animation and also being a voice actor, you get to voice animated characters. So just out of curiosity, how do you traverse fan spaces, but also keeping it professional, especially like online and online spaces?
Well, oh, that's actually a really harsh question when you think about it, but a good one, a good one, a good one. I think what matters most is holding a sort of boundary when it comes to interacting
Mm.
with people online. Because
Hmm.
I heard before I started, becoming more popular, I heard the horror stories of folks who kind of abuse their power when it comes to like their social status, and I knew that I did not want to be that kind of person. I kind of learned over time, especially on social media, that I guess it's just learn what kind of person you are first before you start like trying to become like like an influencer or like a famous person in other people's eyes. Because for me, I love being a nerd. I'm a nerd first and a creative next, and it's like
Right.
I like engaging in media and like talking about media and like sharing media and working on media. So it's like eat, breathe, and live for media. So I always just try to show like who I am as a creative. So like I'm not trying to like put on airs for anyone, especially because over the years I've just realized sometimes people just don't care if you actually have something like very poignant to say about like real world stuff. So it's like, I just kind of
Mhm.
stopped. I just stopped hardcore because I was like, you know what? You can't always change everyone, and especially with Twitter, it is not a good place to even try.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
especially these days. Yeesh.
Blue Sky probably,
Yeah.
but overall, it's like I use Twitter to engage in like media spaces and stuff, so it's like I'm using it for the fun, the actual fun of it. I'm not gonna be like these people who are like making all this content just to be miserable about media, and it's like, why are you ruining the fun of being a nerd? Come on.
Oh yeah. Like I definitely could not imagine like putting that much energy into anything that just like puts negative energy into me. It's why when I first started and like Artiste has already been in this space, but just like talking and analyzing media in video form, um, has honestly for me, it's always been a thing I've been interested in. I've loved other people's perspectives, and I love being able to express that as well. And I'm honestly very glad that you're still able to find that balance. I don't know if it's an age thing either, because I feel like
I don't know. Like, okay, maybe with some people it might be, but for me personally, it's just, actually, let's not say it's an age thing. It's more like a growing out of it sort of thing. It's like
Right.
you might have been like
Right.
beady eyed like initially when you got on social media, but it's like if it wears you down over time, probably for the best if you kind of like draw more boundaries over that kind of thing. But overall, just be yourself because if you're a nerd, don't be afraid to like enjoy nerdy things. Like use social
Oh yeah.
media for your own purposes, like just to be a normal like a normal ongoer on social media. Like I mean, unless you have something important to say, unless you're announcing something, unless you know the important stuff that social media is meant for,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to change how you normally go about social media. You can just keep doing what you like doing and then just move on because the world is going to move on regardless of social media. So
Yeah.
just know, like, you can still enjoy your life outside of it. I've just been touching grass more often. So I've
Which
been
is
I've been
very,
less
very
active
cool.
on social media, if that's the best way of saying it.
And that's completely preferable, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
real talk. Yeah.
most of my existence, like I do have a Blue Sky and a personal website, but speaking for me, it's just cathartic just trying to reconnect with people. I think like last
Right.
week I was connecting with a bunch of people, like me and Art's like mutual friends. And granted, it was a Thursday night, mind you, but this call was at least like 4 hours.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Like last night, I was in a call with a friend of mine for 3 hours, so it was like, I
Oh yeah,
mean, I get
see,
it
that's when the real conversations happen.
exactly because
Well, you be keeping me up for hours too, though. We could go for hours.
right, exactly because sometimes you know you're talking to your friend when you actually get to like talk that ish about like like the really like nitty gritty things like you probably wouldn't talk about on social media because
Yeah.
I think that's what it also boils down to is sometimes you can't always say everything on your mind on social media because there's always going to be someone scrutinizing you for like every little thing,
Or
which
take out
that
of context.
Right.
Yeah.
exactly I think context is dying on social media. Like
Yes.
it's not
Nuance,
good.
context, all of it.
It's like I don't trust people anymore. I don't trust people like that anymore. Like
Mm-mm.
if you can't because you can't really you can't really structure yourself properly on social media the way you want to on like a Discord conversation for example,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but it's like I just don't trust Twitter to like have that kind of conversation. Hell, I don't trust public social media for that kind of conversation. If I'm not able to like say it in a more thorough way, I'm probably not going to go out of my way to say it at all.
Oh yeah. That
Mhm.
that has been my personal mantra. Um, I prefer to just like be in spaces where I can make my feelings personal or about media very clear and succinct. And the second I feel like it's getting misinterpreted, it's like, okay, I'm out. Like,
Exactly. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
yeah,
I try to diffuse it as best as possible, but it's like if the other person's not going to listen or like engage in enough good faith to really like see how they might be wrong in that sense,
Of course
you
not.
might as well just bounce.
Humans don't like to admit when they're wrong.
That is
yeah,
true.
yeah. I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah. It's actually terrifying.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Um, so we're in a little bit of a unique point. We've had a lot of natural conversation, but as I look at my notes, I do feel like one way or another, most of the notes that we've had, or at least I had, have been filled already. But do you want to like see if we can focus a little bit on some more viewer questions?
Oh, sure thing.
Okay. So, probably a short one, from a friend of the show, Kerosene. What inspired you to be a voice actor, or when did you realize that was your passion?
I think what inspired me the most was, you know, all the stuff I grew up with. Like I played video games, I watched cartoons, I watched anime like all the time. Like my brothers and I, we grew up on like everything, basically. So it's like I always felt like I wanted to get into fiction in some way. I just didn't at the moment know how to go about it.
Right.
So that's ultimately when I started picking up drawing because then it gave me a chance to like put my ideas and like what I was watching into picture form. But
Mm.
then it was when I got to like middle school. That's when I learned what voice acting was. And then it became like a huge hyperfixation for me for the longest time. And
Yeah.
then it was when I went to high school where I went to my first ever convention, Screw Attack Games Con, where I actually got to meet the Dragon Ball Z Funimation voice cast.
Oh, the whole cast?
Not the entire cast. It's like Sean Schemmel, Sonny Stray, Justin Cook. I think also Chris Abbott. Maybe not Chris Abbott, but Cara Edwards and Cynthia Kranz.
Oh, that's still like a pretty
Nice.
good
It's a
group.
sizable, like it's like most
Yes.
of like the major ones, but yeah, it was like getting to actually like talk to voice actors and like see that they're just like they're regular ordinary people just like us, but they
Yeah.
like having fun. And it's like that was actually really cool. Like I was talking with my parents a lot about voice acting, and so it was a chance for me to really like get into it on my own. And so when I got to college, that's when I actually started doing voiceover. And as time went on, it started becoming a thing that was building up over time. And when I started making money off of voiceover, I started using whatever I made to like help with school stuff as well.
And that's
And I
very
even
Mhm.
and ultimately, when I was going to school, I used my voiceover to like aid in assignments and stuff as well. So learning how to record and learning how to edit audio, learning how to like perform and write and everything. It was like I was learning a lot of things on the fly when I was going to college. So
yeah,
voiceover was the best thing that ever happened to me while going to school because I learned how to do so many other things on top of my classes.
insane. And like honestly, it's great to be able to like take advantage of so much. I definitely like a lot of your experiences ring true on my end because like as a kid you're obviously obsessed with cartoons. For me, like when they had those segments, like I think mainly on Nickelodeon, when they used to like show you like how to draw in like a certain art style, whatever, like
Yes.
that sunk
Yes.
its hooks in me at such a young age, so it's very unsurprising I am where I am now. um
Love
and
that.
it's actually funny you mentioned Dragon Ball Z, not just because I had wrapped up a big video essay about Kai, but
Hey.
yeah,
Plus.
it took a year in the making.
Whoa.
Yeah. But if I remember correctly, when it was airing on Nicktoons, they actually had these mini interviews, I think mostly by Sean Schimmel, of just like being in the voice booth and like talking about characters and like their motivations and stuff. And I found that like really interesting too. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's like I guess never really underestimate like just what spark what sparks you and like at what point in life that really like comes out,
Right.
because like when that flame is lit it never really goes out.
It really doesn't.
Mhm.
Like that's absolutely beautiful. Cause I remember when Dragon Ball Z Kai first aired on TV. Yeah, I was watching it on Nicktoons. Like Nicktoons is
Yeah,
where like a lot of like the OG cartoon, the OG anime, like yeah, because for Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball GT reruns,
yeah,
as well as was Beyblade also on? And probably not, but I know
Beyblade,
Digimon. Digimon
yeah,
was
yeah,
absolutely on
Yeah,
Nicktoons at the
definitely,
time.
Digimon.
Yo,
definitely.
that was lit. That was a lit time. Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Because I remember back in the
thank you,
day on
Dio. Oh
Toon
man,
Disney slash Jetix,
yes,
like Digimon was on Disney's time.
right.
Because I got into Digimon Adventure 2. So it was like I grew up with the older version of TK. Like
That scene
Bruh.
when fucking Ken like whipped him and he caught that shit. Oh,
yes. Uh, I
oh,
was I was like, yeah, and like and then Cody was like wondering like what who are you really? TK? I was like, what I was
oh
like,
man,
damn. See, if you're the kind of person who will switch up when the time is necessary, there is nothing scarier than a nice guy who will actually whoop your ass.
right. Oh my
Right.
I was like, yo, TK might be my favorite of the Digidestins because, oh my god,
He just decked him.
he
Oh,
whooped
man.
his shit. Oh my god.
Ooh,
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time. Oh my god.
amazing.
And oh my god, the Jetix time period, goated, miss it forever because that's how
Yes.
I also got into which was also one of my favorite magical girl stories at the time.
Yeah, witch.
Oh my god, I loved it. And not to mention, I might be like one of the only people on the planet who remembers this show in particular, but there was this
Oh,
show
try me,
called
try me.
there was this anime called Shinzo.
Oh shit! Oh, I
Oh,
haven't
you
thought of
know
that
it too?
in years. Yeah, we're going Shinzo. Oh my god.
I have never met someone who actually remembers that show. I was like, yo,
Oh
that
man.
that premise was lit because I was also growing up with Power Rangers as well. So it's like
Yeah.
the idea of like men transforming into like absolute Chad versions of themselves.
Insane.
I was
See,
like,
that's
yo, that aesthetic absolutely pleased me. Like, I love that kind of thing. Like, I wish we got like more magical boy stories where it's like you could
yeah.
transform like that, look hot, and be cool while doing all this cool stuff.
You see, for me, that's also why I liked a lot of Digimon Frontier, which is when
Oh my god, yes!
yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
god! When the humans actually transform into the Digimon!
And I'm so surprised in like
Yes.
online circles, like, oh, this is the first bad one. I'm like, did we watch
What?
the same
What?
show?
You a hater. You hate innovation.
Don't get. That's what I don't get.
Really
It's like,
do.
no, because Digimon Frontier was lit. It was the way. Like, first of
Yes.
all, the English theme song, for starters, and
The
then,
best.
but
The
it's like
best.
all the Digiforms. Like, oh my god, bruh, you can transform into a Digimon. Why didn't anyone get hyped for that? Like, I
Exactly.
know, I have a lot of friends who loved Digimon Frontiers, but it's like, oh my god, was was the reception that bad?
I
It
was
was.
honestly surprised.
Remember terrible, but I liked it. I thought it was like new and innovative and like, oh, that's cool. They can actually like fuse and stuff like Digimon, but they don't need partners. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like that's cool because it inspires the individuality of each member of the group, and it's like you get to learn, like as they keep going, they learn how to become stronger versions of themselves, and like that's how they get these new forms, and it's like,
Yeah.
bruh, you don't have to like. I love the partner aspect of Digimon, but becoming
Hmm.
the Digimon and like having that same mutual bond with other humans who can become Digimon, like that's a big deal.
Yeah, and the fact that they're still in the digital world and have to
Yes.
get to the world and get used to learning about this whole ancient culture, I still think that bond, despite being in a different form, no, that same concept is still executing just in a different way, at least in my opinion.
Right, exactly. Because
Hmm.
the most underlooked bond is with other people. So
Yes.
it's like you learn how to be a much better person who socializes with other people and accepts yourself as a human being. And it's like, wow, people really overlooked the best parts of some of these Digimon shows, I swear.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
More
But
of a
yo, can we have
thinker for some people.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I look back at Pokemon, Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh, and think about how they were way more mature in like art direction and ideas
Yeah,
than
Merrick
like,
scared me. I'll just say that right now.
yeah, what scared you?
Oh, no, Merrick, from Yu-Gi-Oh! No, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it was like
Merrick,
Oh.
yeah.
yo,
There
yo,
was arcs, like,
OG,
later when he got, like, possessed and you see the veins and shit, like, ew.
yo, OG Yu-Gi-Oh was wild. Oh my god.
Hmm. Does
You
anyone
know,
remember Tai Chi Chasers?
oh
Oh,
yeah, I actually watched
man.
that.
Finally, amongst cultured brethren.
Hey,
Finally.
I watched everything 4 Kids related at least one time. So like,
Yes.
yo, I've at least heard of it before. So like I've actually watched a few episodes of Tai Chi Chasers. It actually looks really cool. Like it's a pretty interesting concept.
Oh, so cool. It's so cool. I want to do a video about it one day. I just need to rewatch all of it. I think there's just 2 seasons of it though.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Like I remember some of these 4 Kids shows that really had like these cool premises. Digimon Frontier kind of reminds me of Chaotic.
Yeah.
Because
It's
like
been
in the
ages
game
for
version of
Were they
Chaotic, you
like
can transform into the monsters from the world.
right.
And they actually interact with them and scan them and like build up the world. Well, like it was like this is actually really cool. I wish it blew up more than it ended up doing because I feel like Code Lyoko got more popularity,
If
and
there
for good
were
reason.
if there were
yeah.
anything that could survive, like, look, I'm just saying, if Bakugan got a new anime in this
Oh,
decade,
for real.
yeah, like, the sky's the limit at this point.
I mean, yeah, and to be fair, Bakugan getting a new reboot meant that there was more diversity added to it too.
Yes. And in the show too, that was very much appreciated.
Amen. Like I loved OG Bakugan. I keep why am I saying
But you,
Bakugo
you
instead
want to
of
say
Baku?
Bakugo? I know.
No, no, no. Also, have you noticed the recent the recent hate train on Bakugo?
Oh my
I love
no.
I love it. I love it. I
it.
love it. It's like everyone is realizing, wait, you grew up with a loving family and like no trauma, and you mean to tell me you ended up like that?
Two parents, middle, and constantly praised. It's
It's like,
people finally realizing that, like, wow, Bakugo isn't all that great. He's kind of a piece of shit, kind of like how people are finally realizing still the same shit. But anyway,
I
Ooh,
know, right? It's like I knew watching the show, like he got on my nerves a lot. It wasn't until I realized in the manga, like when he was starting to like develop as a person, because I was excited for that. Because
mm-hmm.
by the time he actually became a much better person and he toned down, I was like, ooh, okay, now I like Bakugo as a character.
right.
Now I like it, but it took way too freaking long to get to this point, and I do not like that.
Yeah.
Oh my
One
god,
of our
I hate rageaholics in real life. Why would I want a show about this guy?
yeah, one of our so Belle, one of her mutual friends, me and Art. So one of her mutual friends, Jera. They are a huge MHA fan, specifically a Kiribaku fan, because of course. So
Of course.
they so they have been a proponent of, just like saying that Bakugo's character like has depth. Not, however, like admitting, no, they're not dismissing, I should say, that
Mm-hmm.
he gotta do some fucked up shit, because I'm going in like nearly blind. Like I'm like halfway through season 2. So I ping them and I'm like, and might be a controversial take, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't see like how someone could ship Deku and Bakugo when in the first episode this guy basically tells you, hey, you should probably try to like kill yourself. Maybe
Yeah,
you'll
he
be
literally
reincarnated.
said off
Like,
yourself. Like
who?
I did not see
Oh
I do not
no.
see. I actually do personally ship. I actually do like the ship of either Ochako and Bakugo because it's like clashing like opposite personalities. Like that's actually
Right.
a really cool.
Yeah,
That's such a cool
I
concept
like
because
that.
I feel like if they were given more screen time together, they would have actually probably like been a couple if it was that kind of story.
Yeah.
But also Kirishima is also a good idea for like for Bakugo too because it's like you have someone because like Deku himself like he actually did acknowledge like Kirishima's like the only other person like Bakugo would have listened to like when they were rescuing him.
Oh, he just flats out
Yeah,
says it like
look
that?
at Bakugo being a little bitch. Like, oh, does it really matter who fucking is here to save you? Oh my gosh, get over your side. He's so much.
I know. Like I hated him for the longest time too. Don't worry, I was an OG Bakugo hater. Like don't worry. But like I get it though. I do get it though, because like with Kirishima, he has like that unbridled passion and like mutual admiration of other people. So it's like he has like a really powerful quirk on top of that. It's like the kind of quirk that would withstand Bakugo's temperament.
Right.
So it's like I understand it. I actually get it though.
So he's
Yeah.
the would be the battered wife. I see.
Well, the battered wife who's basically indestructible and just like so you break your hand like so he breaks his hand over your head.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh my,
Mm-hmm. Mm, mm, mm,
y'all are
mm.
gonna
I'm
y'all
gonna tell Jera. I'm gonna ruin this for Jera. I'm gonna love to ruin this for Jera.
Oh, don't. But it's like you know what? I can't even say that I did like the fact that sometimes even though Bakugo yells, you can tell when he's only yelling because it's his mood, like it's in character for him, not because like he's rude to anyone. Because, for example, circling to when I got to be in My Hero, around the time
yes.
when, so when Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku were having dinner at Endeavor's place, so the Todoroki household, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
Bakugo makes it no surprise he does not like Endeavor. Like, he sees him as, like a haughty bastard. But, he was enjoying, you know, Shoto's older sister, like, she cooks for the family. And Bakugo
Mhm.
made it clear, like, he loved her cooking. Like, he makes a note, like, because he's actually good in the kitchen too.
Oh
So
wow.
he was letting her know, it's like, your food is great, and it's like, give me the recipe sometime. And
See,
she in turn, like acknowledged like that compliment, and it's like, she was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And it's like, and later on in the series, like he's like, when Shoto cooks, like you bring shame to your sister.
where's this Bakugo more often? I need this one.
Because sometimes it's just parsing through Bakugo's character and realizing, okay, he's just loud because that's who he is, not because he's always angry. And it's
Right.
like, when he does say something, you have to like pay attention to like what he's saying. Like, it's like, that was actually really cute. Like, see, he does, when he mutually respects someone and like he actually admires that person. Like, he'll say it, he'll actually say it. It's weird. It's weird. Like, I don't expect everyone to like Bakugo, but it's like, I've grown into the franchise long enough to like understand, with some characters, they don't always make their feelings easily understood.
Yeah.
And I get that with Bakugo, like, because of the way like everyone riffs on him for his temper. Like, because in season
Yeah.
one, they make it clear. They make it clear. Like, he has such a shit attitude. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how good of a hero he could be. If your personality sucks, no one's gonna like you.
Like he basically turned everyone against him when they were having the little gym tournament arc. Like, come
Yes.
on.
Like, dude won, and he still looked like an asshole because he didn't win the way he wanted to. Which, I'll be fair, if your opponent basically gave up midway, yeah, I would be pissed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Vegeta in me, like, that would I would not be okay with that. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I was supposed to earn this. Why would you take this away from me?
Especially after giving to like Deku, someone who he belittles, so it's like even more insulting to him.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, that, that scene was so funny to me because sometimes people just get more of a rise out of actually like taking you down versus if the victory was handed to them. So taking
Right.
it away from them is so delicious.
Yeah. The
This
crash out
wasn't
was not
earned.
reasonable. The crash out wasn't reasonable, but it is understandable.
Exactly. Like, sometimes you don't have to you don't have to say it was a good crash out, but I
Yeah.
understand it. I understand it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so we've definitely been having fun here, but okay, so just to wrap this up, do you mind doing a little bit of a lightning round of our remaining viewer questions?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. Let's see. Simple one from Buster's Corp. How did the audition process for Gaslight District and Lackadaisy go?
Okay, Gaslight District, it was very simple. Like, a few years ago, I was recommended by a friend to audition for them, and since then they put me on their roster, and this is the first time they actually, booked me for an audition that I did for them.
Right.
So, plain and simple really on that one. Lackadaisy was a little different though, because of the scope of Lackadaisy as a franchise, Fable had to handle the auditions very anonymously. Like, so
Right.
basically, they posted on Twitter asking for demo submissions, and then those that they approved of, they sent, some mini lines to like do as the character. And this is before we even knew what we were auditioning for. So,
Hmm.
and then I ended up booking the role, and here's the thing. I didn't know about Lackadaisy until after they told me what it was.
Oh,
It's like, I didn't know what I was getting into until I actually got into it, and I was like, "This is one of the coolest things I have ever seen." Like, what? Oh my god, and now it's getting an animated version? Like, yo! Oh my
insane.
god! Because after Lackadaisy was announced and all that stuff, and even like after the pilot, it's like I'm so flabbergasted by the amount of friends I have in voiceover who did know what Lackadaisy was.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like they would have more than appreciated like going for Lackadaisy if they knew that this was what they would have been auditioning for.
Mhm.
So that's hilarious. That was hilarious. It was a crazy situation because sometimes you never know what you're going in for until you really go for it.
Right.
Mhm.
Let's see. So we got another one from our friends at the Postmodern Art Podcast. Firstly, love what you do. Keep up the awesome work. Secondly, seeing the wide range of roles you've had, there's got to be a role you're itching to try. What's a role or voice you'd love to act out in the future?
Okay, I can't say role per se because that kind of leaves it a bit more open-ended. There's a lot of franchises I want to be a part of
Yeah.
How
because
about like character archetype?
okay,
Yeah, that
perfect. Yeah,
works.
absolutely.
Thank
Because
you.
if I were to say what kind of archetype I'd love to play, I think it would be something. Okay, there's two at the very least. I've gotten to at least do this one with both Temperance and Idu, but something that allows me to have like a more like use my more like naturally softer androgynous tone to like play the character because I was surprised by so many people that know me who said like I didn't even recognize you as Temperance, and that was the trick. That was me doing it. I was so happy for that.
I can't
So
even front. Like my partner recognized you, I could not. And I was trying to listen out for you. So so I was so much more surprised, you know?
I
Not to
love getting
brag, but I also recognized you, Belle.
Oh, of
love you for
course.
that. Love you guys for that. But that's the kind of voice I don't often get to use. I usually get to play the more emotionally flamboyant characters,
Right.
be it rather
Right.
harsh or like really silly. So it's like getting to play someone who has like actual like an emotional heart to them in that respect. It's really nice. Like I want to use that softer, more delicate sort of tone to really convey a character more often. And if it's for like more serious stuff as well, that would be so much fun. Like I would love that.
Wow.
But
Boy,
also another archetype would
you go.
be another character archetype I would love to play is like something that kind of uses the natural raspiness of my voice to kind of the smoky texture, like
Whoa.
deadly sexy archetype. Um,
Jeez.
I'm
that
gonna kill myself. That's awesome.
Just like
oh my
hearing
That's how Gara talks, damn you.
Oh
oh my
my
god!
jeez.
I forgot Liam O'Brien talks like that.
Liam
Yes,
O'Brien talks like
I want to
Oh,
voice a character who naturally has a smoky voice. Like that's like that's an excuse for me to use my natural deeper range. Like I want that
Yes,
so badly. It's like so
I am
basically
so impressed.
I
so
want
it's like
that for you.
thank you. Like so it's like higher range and lower range. But to be more exact, delicate, possibly androgynous, lower, sort of deadly, the kind of person who would probably kill you in your sleep, sort of low.
Holy
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, you
stop
are
it.
good.
You're
Like
making me blush.
real good.
Fucking hell, dude.
I guess it's just basically I want to play a nuanced character where I get to exercise my vocal range.
Right.
Because if
Yeah.
I could be a Gara character, that would be my life's goal. Because I love Gara.
Oh my
Note
god.
to
And
self. Book
like,
Bell for Gara dubs.
oh my god. Because Liam O'Brien, oh my god, so phenomenal. Like I
Oh
see all
my
these
god, I
other
love
guys
Bell.
I see all these other guys booking these deeper voice men, and it's like, am I missing out on something here? I feel like I'm missing out on something here.
You just haven't
Maybe.
seen all that you have.
I
Exactly.
will
There we go. Because
I will
sometimes,
pray that the stars align.
oh
Mm-hmm.
my goodness. Next question.
Yeah.
I'm quaking. I'm quaking.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Something in mind is something I was thinking about too was the fact that I think the easiest cop out, like a lot, I think the easiest way that I can't say cop out, but basically best way that I've seen some directors like have a character with like a naturally deeper gravelly voice is like hiring a black guy, and I'm like, I see it. I actually see it.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense. It's like, yo, hire more black men to like do that sort of like that husky tone, because bruh, can can we be so for real? Like Keith Silverstein, like his voice is absolutely phenomenal, and I want to like do at least a fraction of what he does, like on a daily basis. Like he gets to be Hawkmoth and Hisoka.
Right? Oh my god.
It's like, bruh,
So
I want to
good.
do that. I want to do that. I want to voice a character like that.
This is the type of greed the boss about.
Indeed.
Right? Oh my god.
No, this is what we call manifesting.
Yes. We are
Yeah.
manifesting live as we record this.
I want to be a Tumblr sexy man.
I want people to send you so much creepy fan art and ask you to say such very uncomfortable things.
Oh god. Well, I'm gonna turn down the voice requests, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Good one. Good on you. Have those boundaries. Boundaries.
I know, because I don't trust that. I don't trust that. But in all realness, that is the next goal. Because, like, if someone could be like, your voice is so hot when you do that.
Okay. So, final viewer question from Mechadon Prime. What were you most excited for fans to discover about your character? Well, your character in the Gaslight District, Temperance. These virtues seem to be cybernetic. Is there anything you're allowed to say about what sets them apart from the undead characters?
Well, I mean, I was just excited to watch the pilot along with everybody else. Like, I, for the most part, got the gist of what the character was, but I don't know anything like ultra like in depth. So I haven't been able to like respond to anyone's questions like on social media about like, do you know anything else about like what's going on? So it was it was kind of interesting being on the receiving end of people asking me for spoilers. So that was funny. That was
Yeah.
hilarious because I never thought I would be in a situation where people were like, they thought that I knew what was going to go on later in the story, and I don't even know what happened after the pilot.
Which
So,
means we need another episode, so we have to support the Gaslight District, everybody.
exactly. So, if anything, if Temperance appears in the future, then I would know. But okay, maybe they will. Maybe they will in the future, but until then, I don't know when that's gonna be. So I cannot answer any spoiler questions. Apologies in advance.
Of course.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, and before we wrap up, are there any extra questions that you have, Artis?
I'll just have the one because I feel like it's more important.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more I have is so Bell.
Yes.
Now I know that you've also mentioned that you yourself are an artist, and I've seen some of your OCs. They're phenomenal.
Ooh.
So I wanted to ask, as a VA, who would you like to like ideally cast one day, stars align, you got to pick your pluck of like the voice actors. Who would you want like in your roster, and would you yourself voice one of your original characters?
Oh, that's a really good question.
That's such a good question. Oh my god. To answer the first part of that question, well, I can't directly tell you that like who I would bring on because that defeats the point of like the surprise of the casting, but
Ooh.
Fair.
but like ultimately I always think about that. Like every so often I do assemble like head canons for my characters, and it's usually like people I'm either already in the industry with on that same level or folks that I dream of working with one day. So it's like
Right.
I try looking through, just like sparsing through the industry, like looking through social media, being like, okay, I'm always scouting someone to see, okay, if I were to cast for my characters, who would be my ideal choice? And it's like half of the time, it's like I try to be pragmatic, but other times it's like I want you. I want to work with you so freaking badly,
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
it be like that as an artist. Like you want to work with someone who there's some voice actors who I have been gushing over since I was in middle school even. So it's like trust me, there's some folks who I would kill if I got a grant of like any kind of money just to work with voice actors on that level. I would be reaching out to them immediately.
Oh
Yeah.
But
yeah.
second, because I mean, for example, if you got to work with Liam O'Brien at least one time in your life, Artis, come on, come on, come on,
I
come on.
would literally die happy. I
There we go.
would.
Exactly. Exactly. You know how it be. You know how it be, girl. Come on. Come
Yeah,
on.
like, I know he doesn't really go to, like, cons anymore as much, or it's really hard to
Aw.
find him, but, like, I promise you, no joke, I would literally make it rain on this man. I would bring all my Gaara merch. I'd have him sign so much. I'd say,
Oh
like,
wow.
appropriate, of course, nothing will make him uncomfortable. Like, I won't wail
Naturally.
his pain out. I'd make him a very satisfied man.
Love that.
As you should.
As for
So
the second part of
normal.
your question, no. I personally do not see myself voicing any characters that I create or like I design because me
So
personally,
modest, so humble he is.
because I feel like I want to be a part of other people's visions. I don't want to be. It feels awkward putting myself in my own vision. Like I always feel like when it comes to like creating characters, it's like you're building a world that where it's like you're the overseer. You're not the person who's like a part of that world. So it's like you're forging everything from the ground up. So it would maybe it's just me. It's a me thing. Like I feel
Oh, yeah,
weird
I
about
get
like
it.
putting it's weird for me to put myself in that sort of scenario, but I understand other people and how they do it. And if it's good, then absolutely. Like I love when people do it.
Yeah, I
I don't
completely
no
understand.
one-shot fanfic with Gara and me. You know, don't worry about that. That's a personal little project right there.
Artice's simp quest for Gara.
It
We
never
love it
ends,
here.
baby.
I mean, hey, no shade, no shade.
Yeah.
We stand simping for good characters.
Yes.
I mean, hey, do you not want to marry Lord Kazekage?
I'd be a great Mrs. Kazekage. I take real good care of our adopted kid.
I know, right? Like, exactly. There we go. And Tamari and Kankuro would be awesome siblings too.
All right. So cool. So much fun.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, and
Uh,
the only thing I can say before we just like, slowly transition out. As someone who is also working on an indie project behind the scenes, so to speak, I completely understand your rationale behind voicing your own characters. Like at the moment, I have three characters who, despite them actually being inspired by different parts of my personality and events that happen to
Mm-hmm.
me, I would not want to see them like being voiced by me. I think that just
Exactly,
brings too
right?
close
Like
to home?
exactly. It feels like it takes away from the immersion because like the beauty of it is that you built them out of yourself. Like you don't want to portray yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair, but
Like,
then I think about, like, JG Quintel and Close Enough and Regular Show, but, like,
Right.
oh
if you're
yeah,
playing, like, a side character, not, like, the main character.
Yeah, because then
yeah,
it's like it would feel radically different. Like for example, like sometimes when Stan Lee used to be like rest his soul, like when Stan
of
Lee used to
course.
be like a cameo in like all of the Marvel stuff, like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot more healthy. Like
Mhm.
even like a drawn cameo. Like
Yeah.
I guess it's like just because it's like my story doesn't necessarily make it a story about me,
Me,
you know?
right,
Like
exactly.
I could do that, of course, but then that's like an entirely separate thing, you know? I think if I were to make a story with characters inspired by my experiences, it would be, like Ava, something where you can like analyze and respect it more if you get to know more about me as an artist, but that's not really like required homework. You know what I mean? I'm more
Exactly,
interested.
right. Yo, shout out
Yeah.
to Ava.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
just got the Blu-ray like maybe like 2 months ago. Oh my god. I can't wait to like go through that new dub.
Oh my god, please.
But yes, oh my god, Belle, you have been such an amazing guest. There's just an unrivaled amount of passion like in all these responses. Like this is bordering on just like a casual conversation that I'm almost worried I gotta like edit some of this stuff out
Ah,
because
that's fair. It's fair. It's totally fair. Don't worry, Adam. It's fine.
yeah, I think we should be fine though, but it's like that's just like how comfortable I feel like talking with you in art. It's been great.
Hmm.
Well, I appreciate it because I try to make it. I try to make it clear that I'm still a nerd. I'm still a geek. I still like to, draw and create things at the end of the day. And you know, even if I get attention for it, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm different because I get more attention for the things that I do.
Yes,
It just means a lot of people really like it, but I'm still who I am today, and I am not gonna change that just because a lot more people look at my things.
agreed. I
Hmm.
feel very similarly of,
Oh yes.
just being in the industry, honestly. I gotta put
Right.
myself out there more, but I made a promise to myself not lose myself, you know?
Right, it's like, I feel like it's how it works with the industry is take pride in what you do and how much you've accomplished, but don't let that make you into a very bitter person, like,
Agreed.
it's like,
Agreed.
I'm proud of the things that I've been able to accomplish in my career, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, oh my god, this other person didn't deserve it." I mean, unless they're an absolutely crappy person and everyone knows they're a crappy person, like,
Oh yeah.
that's a different
Mm.
story. That's a whole different story in of itself, but it's like, if it's someone who's, like, really nice and, like, they don't have a problematic past or, like, anything, it's like, "Come on, man, and be a good sport about their
Yeah.
successes."
Yeah, like, how is that going to
Right.
benefit me or make my work better? No, like, just
Exactly, because
lift other people up.
something I've always, like, picked up on when it comes to this industry is a lot of insecurity runs in the spaces of artists, especially when it comes to, like, as an actor, you see insecurity fermented, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, you need to take pride in yourself and not bank your whole worth on your productivity," which easier said than done, but
Yeah.
it's just if you're gonna be on social media, probably don't be resentful of everyone else around you just because they might be more productive than you. I don't know. I'm just like, I've never really cared too much about everyone else's productivity or wallets to really get into that kind of funk. So I'm not gonna turn that into my life. I'm sorry. I'm like I've always had drawing. I've always had like curating social media and like hey, like speaking with other voice actors and going all over the place. So it's like I've always just been doing something. So I'm not worried about like what everyone else is thinking about me. I'm just like more concerned about how is everyone else doing or how is or what exactly is going on in the moment.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Definitely speaking from personal experiences, once I was able to just like lock in and focus on learning more skills and bettering myself instead of focusing on past experiences, we'll say, um,
Mm.
I found myself being able to just, well, I got to this point. I'm very happy
Right.
to say that at least. And if I
Yeah.
could, hey, if I could get here, first off, like, there's no excuse. I could probably do whatever. And second, anyone who's listening could probably do some good things too. If I could do it, so can you?
Exactly. Like, realize the idea that your accomplishments can inspire other people to seek out their own. Like, it doesn't have to be, oh, you accomplished something, therefore it feels like it's impossible for me to get my shot. No, no, you'll always have an opportunity to do cool things. Like, it's never over unless you give up.
Yes.
Mhm.
For a lack of better expression, we are so back.
Exactly.
uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so this has been a very great, probably our funniest episode as of
Aw.
yet. So again, Belle, thank you so much. Out there on the information superhighway, where can people keep up with you?
Oh, well, you can find me on Twitter at BellRusapeVO, on Blue Sky at BellRusapeVO. You can find me on my website, BelsheberRusapeJr.com. And if you ever want to drop a line on me, you know what to do.
All right. How about you, Arteice?
Well, it is ArteiceTB. That's ArteiceTB everywhere on social media, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube. Trying to do a new style of video creation. That's also changing up my editing and presentation. That's both fun for me and with my audience.
Nice.
Instagram, I'm kind of there lurking around. Whatever. Me on the internet and listen to Imagine Dragons.
Will
Woo!
do. As for me, you can find me on a2adam.carrd.co, and my website is adamlatour.com. My card will have all my socials. The only major thing that's happened is that I will slowly be sunsetting my Instagram. Blue Sky is going to be my main social media site. I'm going to be uploading more art directly to my website. And I will also likely be on vacation later this month. So admittedly,
Woo!
yes, thank you.
Hey, let's go.
So
Congrats.
admittedly, no idea when this episode will release. But I also have been working on some new shorter essays, getting better at art via an art mentorship. And all these will be in a text post update. So if you can, feel free to subscribe to my website so you can keep in the know as to what else I'm doing with my free time. Again, Belle, you have been an amazing guest, and the door is always open in case there are any big updates going on in your life. So it would always be great to talk with you.
Anytime, Adam. Thank you so much for having me.
You are very welcome. And this has been another episode of the KashCast. We would like to thank you all for listening. I'm Adam.
I'm
I'm
Arteice.
Oh,
And I'm Belle.
no worries, no worries. We're all having fun. How about that?
Yeah.
And we will all catch you next time. Remember to stay safe, take care, wear a mask, and remember, love and peace always. Take care, everyone.
Yay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.